Good morning, friends, and welcome back. We just got off of vacation. There's little Daisy in the background there. And we just got home from vacation, and I wanted to go ahead and do a quick tour of the garden this morning, just because since we've been gone, it's probably been about 2 weeks since I filmed a garden tour. And so we went on vacation. Look at all them cosmos coming up. And I just wanted to show you the progress here in my garden. So I'm gonna walk out to the garden here. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and you'll have to disregard the weeds and the tall grass out here because we just got back. Oh no, that sun is bright, y'all. We just got back from vacation, so it's the weekend of July 4th, and we will be getting some work done. Let me turn you around. Good morning, ladies. What are you doing, girl? Huh? What are you doing? Okay, so here is the first bed. As you guys can see, it looks like some bugs have gotten into my brassicas, which I'm not a fan of. I did come out here. We've been back from vacation for 2 days, and I did come out here and smash a lot of bugs. We do live, you know, in southeast Missouri, so it's kind of hard for us to grow brassicas. You can see all the weeds down in there. I will be spending the weekend cleaning up and getting ready. Lettuces look really good. My carrots are looking really good. And these are the tomatoes that we planted. They're getting nice and big, as you guys can see there. This bed looks really good. Some bug damage, but not much. The other bed has a lot more bug damage on it than this one, and I'll show you that here in a second. Over here, this was my tomato, no, not my tomato, my strawberry bed. And as you can see, I planted like 12 strawberries from roots in this bed, and that's the only little one that's come up in there. So I had gotten these cherry tomato plants at the Mennonite store whenever I was there last. And as you can see, when I got back off vacation, they were still in pots. And they looked really rough. So my mom came out here while we were gone and planted these. And now they're looking much better. You can see we got little baby cherry tomatoes there. We got cherry tomatoes on all these plants. So hopefully next year I pretty much have decided. What up, girls? You're looking awful nice. Awful nice this morning. I pretty much decided that we tried these raised beds this year. If you guys watched my last video, you guys know that I'm just now getting back into the garden. As a child, we were in the garden all the time. However, as a child, we were always in the garden. I never wanted to do any gardening whenever I grew up. And then something about buying this house and being drawn back to the garden, we had these pallets on hand here, so we just I didn't want to spend a ton of money whenever we first moved out here for the garden this year, because I didn't have a lot of time, A, to put a garden in, B, I didn't know if I would actually get into it, and C, I wanted to make sure I could still grow stuff. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to spend a ton of money on this stuff, so we just used what we had on hand and made these raised beds. Number one, they're too high. Number one, like this box here is way too big. So after the garden is finished this year, we will ultimately tear all of this out, and I will be setting up in the fall for a more appropriate garden and gardening spaces. These are all my potatoes. They are looking awful nice. It is starting to get warm here. It rained last night, but before that we hadn't gotten any rain here in about 3 weeks. So we got some blight going on, as you can see there. This little guy is blooming. Pretty much all of these plants, my mom said while we were gone, had bloomed. And this one is just now taking off and blooming. So you can see here is the other part of my brassicas. And these got ate up quite a bit. They are starting to recover. My mom said that all of these were completely down to the stems. There was no leaves on these at all at one point in time. So we came out and smashed bugs and taken off all the little caterpillar, whatever those bugs are that eat brassicas. Really hard to grow brassicas here because it gets really hot and the caterpillars like to eat them, from what I understand. But this bed is not looking as nice. My mom thought that this was a plant, so she left it in here. I do believe that's a pokeweed, and that will have to come out. And you guys can see there's all kinds of them in there. We'll go through and weed those. And then look at my lovely wall of cucumbers coming along nicely. Keep in mind that I am in zone 6, and so it was snowing here in, let's see, like towards the end of April. We had a frost, a really big frost. So I didn't plant until after that. I probably didn't start my plants until May. I do not have a greenhouse out here, so I wasn't able to start my plants inside. So my stuff will probably be coming along slower than most people who started their plants inside, only because I couldn't start mine inside. So next year in the fall, whenever I redo these garden beds and put them closer to the ground, I'm going to try to till up a patch for like potatoes and corn to go directly in the ground this fall. But I do not know, we have so much clay in our soil, I do not know if that's going to be conducive for us here. I will try it and we will see. But I don't look for us to be able to grow directly in the ground on my property here, at least. So anyway, my cucumbers are coming along nicely. I'm pretty excited. And then this is my little bed of watermelons and cantaloupes, and you can see they're coming along nicely as well. We have this guy that is doing just fantastic. This is a watermelon plant. I do not know, I have several different varieties of watermelon in here, several different varieties of cantaloupe. However, I do not know which variety this guy is. It might be a sugar baby, it might be a bigger melon, I'm not sure. I can't remember where I planted which watermelon plants, but there that is, coming along awful nicely. And then back here is my peppers and my little asparaguses. These are perennial. This is the first year they're being put in, obviously. My little baby corns, these are corns that are only like that long, you know. So you can see that they're coming along just nicely. Somebody told me I planted these corns too close to each other, and I may have done that, but they seem to be doing okay. So these corn will not get really high or really tall like most corn will, because it's just a little miniature version of corn. So we'll see how that comes along. They are looking awful great to me personally. We'll see. And then over here we have my green beans, and you guys can see I need to come out here and pull some of these green beans off. I'm trying to reach across this bed. Those are big enough right there that I should be pulling them off, and I will probably come out here this evening and harvest off of this green beans. They are looking really lovely and nice, so I'm really excited about that. There's tons and tons of green beans on here already. So we will be pulling, look at all of them down there. We will be harvesting these tonight, and we'll probably just go ahead and eat them fresh. And then over here we have my berries, and then random cauliflower in there. Look at that spider. We have blueberry bushes here. These guys won't mature for a couple years, or at least until next year minimum. I do have a little bit of raspberries right there on that bush right there. I don't know. I bought the raspberry bushes and the blackberry bushes at the Mennonite store. So I don't know if this is in second year or not, but there's raspberries on that one. There is no raspberries on this other one down here. I probably should stake these. I'll probably pick up some stakes when I'm out today, so I can stake these trees up. Eventually, these berries are just here temporarily. If you can see, that is an detached garage over there that we're going to end up turning into a mother-in-law suite. And I'm going to put a bed all the way across that this fall, and whenever I redo this garden, I'm gonna take those berry bushes and they're gonna be all across this back wall. So I'm going to create a bed back here, and all of my bushes, all of my berry bushes will be there. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries will be along that, contained in a bed. So they're just here temporarily. Everything's here temporarily. These things, minus the cauliflower, obviously they'll come back next year. And I'll probably end up planting the asparagus and putting them in front of these berry bushes, because I want to save these asparaguses that I have in here for next year. You guys know that it takes a couple, 3 years for asparagus to really produce anything. So I want to keep those, so I'll probably put them in the front of these berry bushes in that box over there, because they will keep coming back every year. These cauliflower, you can see some bugs got that one. Again, we came out here and smashed all of the bugs. So these are the purple cauliflowers. I also got those at the Mennonite store, and I just put them in this box because I had space in here. Whether or not they'll actually produce, I'm not sure. They look pretty good. We'll see. Those plants I did not do from seed. Those were already started for me whenever I bought them. So that is pretty much my garden boxes. As you can see, we got to cut grass, and like I said, we'll be cleaning all this out here. And let's walk back over. I plan on also putting in a flower box here in front of that, just for like, I would like to put some clematis there and a trellis. And then I'm gonna also put a big, tall box here, flower bed here, and those are peonies that were left here. I will transplant those, and I will probably propagate that some and do an entire box of peonies right here. And as you guys can see, these peonies are, these cosmos are looking, some of them are dying, but there's so many new blooms on them that as they die, just more keep popping up, and they're gorgeous. They're really tall. These are as tall as I am on this side. What's up, girl? So my husband doesn't like them, but I love them. I like really simple flowers. You know, I just like simple things, cosmos, daisies, things like that. I love them. So here are my 2 tomato plants that are in buckets. I bought these are early birds. I bought the plant. I have since pulled about 10 tomatoes off of this plant that have been ripe already. And you can see that there is just all kinds more coming along with that. I do have some blight in here. I have pruned this plant. These are determinate plants though. I did prune them, although you probably shouldn't, but there was so much damage on them when we came back off of vacation that I went ahead and pruned them back quite a bit. And you can see we got all kinds of little baby tomatoes coming up here. These tomatoes were awful fantastic. And then over here is my strawberry plant that's in this bucket. I think she's pretty much done producing. We have pulled strawberries off of that guy, lots and lots and lots. So she's pretty much done there. And that's pretty much it. I do have another flower bed on the other side of that. And again, that one is looking quite rough. We need to weed that, so maybe I'll show you guys that the next time. So that's basically it. The garden update coming along nicely. It's probably slower than most gardens, but again, I didn't plant anything from inside. I planted them directly. I sowed the seeds directly in those boxes out there, so they're just not going to be as far along as other people who started their plants inside. But hey, I'll take it. I have come to the realization that I can only do what I can do for this season, you know, and then next year we will put in a bigger garden, a more cohesive garden out there. We'll do that in the fall so that when it comes time for spring, I can just take my plants and put them out there. Also, we'll be putting some sort of greenhouse out there, or I will clear a space in the family room now that we have got that construction done, and I will start the plants inside the house here if I don't get the greenhouse put up before fall's over. So anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little garden tour. Thank you so much for coming along with me today. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.